Alrighty, folks, we're now 4-0 in our last four chairman plays on my premium page. 85% in our last 14 plays in that same membership. And the good news is I've got another chairman play going off here for Thursday. That play's already posted and ready for access in the post section. Of course, you know I got to give a big shout out to all of my Gold Club members out there, because you guys cashed in on 7 premium plays on my site yesterday. We had the over in the Nuggets game, under in the Dallas-Winnipeg contest in the NHL, under in the White Sox-Royals game in Major League Baseball, Twins money line, Reds plus $1, Phillies money line, and Mariners minus $1.35. And the only way you could have accessed all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single membership, every single day for the next 30 days. Of course, if you don't need access to all of my premium selections, but maybe you could use like one a day, my daily best play is going to run you just 6 cents a day for 30 days worth of access. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my free pick video here today for Thursday, May 8th, 2025. Happy Thursday to you. Weekend's right around the corner. We are just about there. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And folks, real quick, we're 2-0 in our last 2 extra daily picks on my premium page. 2-0 in our last couple of NBA tier membership plays. 2-0 in our last 2 board member tier package picks. And finally, folks, we are 3-0 in our last 3 Gold Club plays in that membership alone. And the good news is I've got plays going off in all of those memberships here on Thursday. And they're all included with the Gold Club membership. Now, folks, if you're on the fence, you really are like, all right, I'm not paying a guy who's just doing shit on the internet. Well, I do have plenty of free content. I have plenty of free content on my premium page as well, and that includes my current overall win-loss record. You can actually access that right now in the post section. You do not have to pay anything to check that out. I currently have over 2,385 members who are signed up and active on my premium page right now. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. Going to start off with the Orioles Twins, 1:10 Eastern first pitch. Minnesota's minus $1.55, totals 8. Bailey Ober for the Twins, Dean Kremer for Baltimore. Now, Kremer's just 3-4 with an ERA of 5.73. This Baltimore pitching staff's allowing more hits a game than any other team. Of course, at the plate, the O's have certainly struggled, getting base runners, especially on the road. They're in the bottom 5 in hits per game in their travels. And they're facing a Minnesota pitching staff who averages double-digit strikeouts at home. They're actually walking fewer batters per 9 than any other team. We could see more of the same here with Bailey Ober on the hill. 4-1 record with an ERA of 3.72. Both squads saw unders and 8 out of their last 10, respectively. Plenty of unders between. What are we trying to say here? All right, total-wise, both squads saw unders and 8 out of their last 10, respectively. Plenty of unders between both of these teams. I like the Twins minus 155, under 8. Next game, Rangers, Red Sox, 135 East. Boston's minus 135, totals 9.5. Brian Bayo for the Red Sox, Jack Leiter for Texas. Leiter's got an ERA of 4.58, 1.30 whip. And these Ranger pitchers, they've had their issues on the road. They're in the bottom 10 in runs allowed as the away team. They're facing a Boston lineup who's pounded the ball at Fenway thus far. They're in the top 5 in runs per game on their own diamond. Alex Bregman, 9 home runs, 30 RBI, OPS in the thousands. Wilyer Abreu, 9 homers himself. On-base percentage of 400 on the dot. 6 out of both Sox last 10 ball games did go over the total. I like the Red Sox minus 135 over 9.5. Next game, White Sox Royals, 2:10 Eastern start. Kansas City's minus 250, totals 8. Chris Bubich for the Royals, Davis Martin for Chicago. And despite Martin's record, he's definitely shown some pretty decent stuff here recently. ERA of 3.52 on the year. And these Chicago pitchers have thrown well on the road. They're in the top 10 in fewest hits allowed in their travels. They're facing a Royals lineup who's been abysmal at Kauffman Stadium. KC's currently dead last in runs per game on their own field. Now, their contest also went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. 3 out of the White Sox, last 4 on the road stayed under the total themselves. I like the White Sox plus 1.5, under 8. Next contest, Tigers, Rockies, game 1, 3:10 Eastern first pitch. Detroit's minus $1.75, totals 9.5. Casey Mize for the Tigers, Kyle Freeland for Colorado. Freeland's 0-4 with an ERA of 5.70. These Rockies pitchers have been terrible at Coors Field. They're allowing more hits per game than any other staff. They're facing a Detroit lineup who's in the top 10 in runs per game. Spencer Torkelson, double-digit homers, 28 RBI on the year. Kerry Carpenter, 8 home runs himself, on-base percentage in the 300s. Tiger games went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Actually saw overs in 7 out of their last 8 road games. I like the Tigers minus 1.5, over 9.5 in game 1. Tigers, Rockies, game 2, 6:40 Eastern first pitch. Detroit's minus $1.65 in game 2. Totals 10.5. Keter Montero for the Tigers, Tanner Gordon for the Rockies. Same deal as game 1. I like Detroit minus 165, over 10.5 in game 2. Phillies, Rays, 7:05 East. Philadelphia's minus 135, totals 8.5. Jesus Luzardo for Philadelphia, Ryan Pepio for Tampa Bay. The 2-4 Pepio's got an ERA in the 4s, 1.41 whip. And even if he throws well, there's a pretty good possibility he'll get little to no run support. The Rays are a bottom 10 run producing team. While the Phillies on the other side, well, their pitchers are striking out more batters per 9 than any other pitching staff. We could see more of the same here today with Jesus Luzardo on the mound. 3-0 record, 1.94 ERA. The lefty's punched out 47 hitters and has a 1.18 whip. Philly games went 63% to the under on the road. Rays with unders in 7 out of their last 10. I like the Phillies minus 135, under 8.5. Next ball game, Reds, Braves, 7:15 East. Atlanta's $1.75, total 7.5. Spencer Schwellenbach for the Braves and Nick Lodolo for the Reds. And I'll tell you what, both clubs have done a nice job at the plate. Since he's a top 3 run-producing team on the road, Atlanta's in the top 5 in hits per game at home. Marcell Ozuna's got a handful of homers for the Braves, on-base percentage in the 400. And Austin Riley's the club leader in homers and RBI. Meanwhile, for the Reds on the other side, Gavin Lux is hitting .302, on-base percentage nearly in the 400s. And Ellie De La Cruz, he's got an on-base percentage of .343. Currently the club leader in ribbies and stolen bases. I like the over 7.5. Blue Jays Angels, 9:38 East. Toronto's minus $1.25. Totals 8.5. Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays. Jose Soriano for Los Angeles. Soriano's just 2-4 with a 1.43 whip. Of course, at the plate, the Angels have had a tough time getting base runners. They're dead last in walks per game at the plate, bottom 3 in hits per game. They're facing a Blue Jays pitching staff who really doesn't walk a ton of batters on the road. They're in the top 5 in strikeouts per 9. Starting pitcher Chris Bassett's fanned 43 batters and has an ERA in the 2s. The righty's also got a solid 1.18 whip. Now, total-wise, the Jays saw unders in 71% of their road games this year. I like the Blue Jays minus $1.25, under 8.5. Next and final breakdown for the video, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, 9:40 Eastern start. The Dodgers are minus 155, totals 8.5. Yoshi Yamamoto for Los Angeles, Brandon Pfaadt for Arizona. Despite some good stuff out of Pfaadt, the D-backs dropped 4 out of their last 6 games. They've got a losing record in their own building. They're facing a Dodger club who's a top 3 run-producing team. Shohei Ohtani, double-digit homers, OPS in the thousands. Teoscar Hernandez, OPS of .933, club leader in RBI. Dodger games went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. 9-1 to the over in their last 10 gatherings with Arizona. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. I like the Dodgers minus 155, over 8.5. With that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Twins minus 155, under 8. Red Sox minus 135, over 9.5 runs. White Sox plus 1.5, under 8. Tigers minus 1.5, over 9.5 in Game 1. Tigers minus 165, over 10.5 in Game 2. Phillies minus 135, under 8.5. I like the over 7.5 in that Reds-Braves game. Blue Jays minus $1.25, under 8.5. Give me the Dodgers minus $1.55, over 8.5 runs. But that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.